Hey, everybody. Happy Freaky Friday. Happy Bold Predictions Day. It's the best time of the week on the podcast daily. And guess what? The king is back, baby. He's right here. Berm thought that he had the crown, gave it up with the quickness, and I'm back on top. That's
Look,
Bill Landis.
I made a bold decision to just go super bold last week. I didn't know that Chip Trayanum would get hurt on the first play of the game and only get 17 yards on the kick return. So I guess, somewhere things happened.
I don't know what is going on, but somewhere our wires got crossed.
Yep, that pretty much sums it up for me. That's what happened last week, and we're back though. And today, Freaky Friday is today. I'm coming back for my throne.
You're not going to have it. I was going to take it no matter what because I called a Mitch Rossi rushing touchdown, and the fullback was out there, got it right in the belly. Bill and I were both talking to Kevin Wilson in the press box, making sure it would happen for me so that I can take the crown back, dethrone you. I think
so let me ask you this.
He let me call the play.
Let me ask you this, both of you guys in America, please chime in.
What about Canada?
What? No, screw Canada in this instance. This has nothing to do with them. When you're talking about a bold prediction, shouldn't that be like a prediction and not insider trading? Because that's, to me, what sounds like is that you received insider trading information in order to make your pick. And I think that defeats the spirit of the contest.
You literally, the week before, went up to Perry Eliano on the practice field and tried to do the exact same thing.
But I had already made my predictions at that point. At that point, I was trying to influence the outcome, sure, but I didn't have a hint going into the predictions as to what was going to happen.
Are you suggesting that we had filmed bold predictions on a Wednesday?
Everyone knows. We've already told the people.
Or
that
even
the
a
internet
Tuesday?
is.
Get out of here.
What?
This was your king? No. Not anymore.
Yeah, but the thing is, we know bold predictions gets a little crazy, and we know that this show is only for people who have the ability to really withstand us at our weirdest, because honestly, this show is really just designed for adults.
It's the adult tour. It's not for kids.
You're really good at setting yourself up.
Thank you.
I want to make it clear that once again, we had to restart the recording because Berm's soundboard.
The people don't want to hear it, Austin. Let's dive right in.
Was only playing in his head, and he thought that we could hear it.
The number of times I've had voices in my head are numerous and varied, so I'm not really surprised by that.
You and Randy Orton. Bill, as the king, I decree that you will go second this week, and Berm will go first.
Okay. I don't mind that, but can I ask a question first?
Sure.
Oh. What's a Randy Orton?
He hears
He's the guy
voices.
who wrote the song for Toy Story. You got a friend in there?
That's what I thought. Oh, and he was that Dr. Seuss book, Orton He Hears a Who?
No, he hears voices in his head. They counsel him. He understands.
But who
they
is
talk
it?
to me. He's one of the most decorated professional wrestlers of all time. Read a book, Berm.
Okay, so he's an actor, if you will. Okay, so bold prediction numero uno. CJ Stroud throws for 500 yards against Wisconsin. The Badgers are missing a couple of their starting defensive backs from the season opener. Their best cornerback has not played yet this year. And I think with a fully healthy wide receiving core and a dinged up Travion Henderson, the impetus will be on the Buckeyes to come out and chuck it around the yard a little bit. And I think CJ Stroud is going to have one of those nights that when he wins the Heisman in November, because he's going to win it in November and then it'll just be given it in December. When he wins it in November, it's going to be one of these nights that we look back on and go, it really couldn't have been anyone else other than CJ Stroud. 500 yards against Wisconsin is not something to take lightly. I understand how bold that is. I'm with you. I feel you, but it's happening. It's It's real and it's spectacular.
He must have an audio clip.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm just every time you finish
But
talking, I'm waiting for you to
that's
play
the beauty
something.
of what I've put into your heads, Randy Orton.
Oh, well, I'm very uncomfortable now.
You should be.
Okay, my turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Wisconsin will rush for fewer than 80 yards in this game. Is that bold? Is that bold?
That's spicy.
Okay.
Drill down.
Drill down like an exact number.
Yeah.
73.
I love it.
73 yards on 28 carries.
If that happens, is that saying that they're only going to have like 250 total yards, or that you think that they're going to abandon the run and focus on trying to pass the ball?
A little bit of mix of both. I think running the ball is going to be very difficult for them. I think Braylon Allen is very good, but this is not a typical Wisconsin offensive line. And I also think that there is a misnomer still about Jim Knowles' defense, even though that they've only given up 84 rushing yards per game to this point and had a number 5 rushing defense in the country last year, that they cannot get the job done while playing with a 4-2-5. And like, it drives me insane. So I think I am making this prediction to try to prove a point and hoping that Jim Knowles backs me up a little bit, because I would like people to come around to the idea that you do not have to play a traditional 4-3 to be a very good run defense. Everything Jim Knowles does with this defense, with the jack position, with the way he moves the safeties around, with the way he has defensive line kind of exchange gaps sometimes, is all geared towards stopping the run. It is not like a pass-oriented defense. I know people might think that it is because it comes out of the Big 12, but it's really not, at least from everything that I can tell and everything that Jim Knowles has said, it's not. And I think that gets proven to a pretty impressive extent this week against probably the most formidable rushing attack that Ohio State has seen to this point, but it gets bottled up and goes nowhere.
Bold predictions where you're personally invested are the best kind. I absolutely love it. I'm not personally invested in Mayan Williams, but I will say that he's going to rush for 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns against the Badgers, 1 for every Chase Young sack the last time these two teams played in the Horseshoe. It'll be his reverse homage. And I agree with Berm that there will be some Heisman moments going on in this game for CJ Stroud. But with all that passing yards, I think they're still going to be set up for short touchdown runs, for the meatball, pork chop, short yardage machine, and that Mayan Williams is going to have himself a huge day, because I don't think Travion Henderson will be 100%. And I think once you get rolling, they might think, you know what, better off making sure that Travion Henderson is better in the long run and just letting Mayan Williams and maybe some Dallin Hayden cook in this game against Wisconsin. So that's prediction numero uno. Berm.
Okay. Numero dos then?
Dos.
No more. Should I make it a dose?
Yeah. A double ding dong.
Okay. Ohio State is going to intercept 4 Graham Mertz passes. And I think it's because Wisconsin is going to have to throw the ball. As I said, I think that it is a team that, is going to try to play against type a little bit. And if you're going to come into Ohio Stadium and beat the Buckeyes at night in this environment, I think you're going to have to play a little bit out of character. And I don't think that they have the ability to slow down the clock the way that Notre Dame did. So I think they're going to feel compelled to try and push the ball down the field. And I don't think that will work well. 4 interceptions for Ohio State. And let's say, you know what? How about 3 of them for Josh Proctor?
Oh, my.
That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
Okay.
And honestly, I mean,
not
who's the other
trying to
one?
be funny, not trying to get a laugh.
I think that Graham Mertz is going to have the worst day of his season so far.
Who's the 4th interception?
We've made a huge mistake letting him do
The
this.
4th is going to be Denzel Burke.
Okay.
Oh, that is bold.
Yeah.
All right.
Your turn, Billiam.
3 touchdowns for Ohio State tight ends.
Again? That's what we predicted
Again?
last week.
I didn't predict that last week.
As a group, we did.
No, we did not. So was it you who predicted?
Sure, we did.
Well, I
If you
said
would-
2 for Mitch Rossi. So did somebody say 1 for Kate Stover? That wouldn't have been very aggressive.
Yeah, we definitely did. That also could have been in Randy Orton's mind, I guess. Maybe
Is
it
3
didn't
not
happen.
bold? Should I make it 4? Should I make it 4 to make it spicy?
3's pretty.
Three's
pretty bold.
bold,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
How many
we'll
have
go
they
with-
scored? How many tight ends touchdowns have Ohio State scored since in the last 15 games?
Well, when they
Uh,
scored the 3 touchdowns in the Sugar Bowl against Clemson, everybody went bonkers. Like they saved all of this up, and Luke Farrell and Jeremy Ruckert went wild, and it was the tight end Sugar Bowl. Except it really wasn't, because Justin Fields was the most dynamic player any of us have ever seen at quarterback in that game. But anyway, it has happened before.
It has.
But
yeah.
it's bold, Bill. I like it. I like it. I see the vision.
I appreciate that. None of them will be rushing touchdowns. I'm not predicting another Mitch Rossi fullback belly, but I think Cade Stover gets 2, and I think G. Scott Jr. gets 1. I think they really, really want to get Cade Stover a touchdown. They've tried the last 2 weeks, and it hasn't quite happened. This isn't a game. Well, maybe it is a game where you kind of just get to a certain point, you can kind of play around and do whatever you want. I don't know if it quite gets to that point, but Cade Stover is part of the plan now. It's not like he's not a guy you get a touchdown just to make him feel good. He's a guy you get a touchdown because you trust him, and he's proven himself worthy of doing that. I think it's an expansion of the multiple tight end sets that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. They've run the ball, I think, pretty well out of those sets. They've thrown it a little bit, but I think they show people that they're willing to throw it a little more when they get that bigger personnel in the field. So 2 for Cade and 1 for G.
I like it.
Oh, I like it. I really do. I'm with you.
I thought he was about to say OMG, but he stopped himself.
Why would I do that? That's tacky and corny, and I don't do anything that's tacky and or corny.
It just
I'm
sounded
a
like
serious
where you were headed.
professional. I'm a professional who's serious.
That's true.
I thought you had a sounder for that too.
Yeah,
I don't know what you
It's-
guys are talking about.
it's really uncomfortable knowing that he could do that at any moment.
Yeah, and because of that, I think you guys probably need a minute to regroup. So Austin, after you make your second bold prediction, why don't we take a second and talk to some other athletes from around the Ohio State community, and then
That's a
we'll
great
get back,
idea.
and maybe you guys can be calm and be a little bit more relaxed and stop freaking out about my ability to mix it up at any moment.
Yeah, I don't think that will relax me at all. I think that bold predictions needs to be filmed live and in person, and with you far away from a mixing board or a laptop or whatever it is you have over there that's got all your gimmicks. It's making me on edge. Tommy, don't look down.
What?
Eyes forward. Let's see your hands.
Man,
Trust me, you don't want me to just randomly pick one, because they will be far less age appropriate if I just randomly pick one. Anyway, go ahead. Tommy Eichenberg will do what to whom and how?
he'll have 15 tackles against Wisconsin on Saturday night. He already never leaves the field. Wisconsin has tried to throw more this year. They've had more success than they did a year ago. I talked with Bill earlier in the week on the podcast daily about just how bad they were, and I almost didn't even realize that they were next to last in the Big Ten last year in passing yardage. So they're trying to get that fixed, but I don't think that they can hope to win this game with letting Ohio State's pass rush get at them. I think their best hope is to be Wisconsin and try and line up and run the football and rely on Braylon Allen. And if that's the case, we've seen what happens to Wisconsin in those situations. Tommy Eichenberg is playing at a high level. He's going to have a ton of snaps available to shut them down, and he will. And I think he'll also, when Wisconsin tries to throw, be involved as a blitzer. So he'll have 3 sacks among his 15 tackles, and this will be one of those Butkus Award performances where people will be looking back at that when he collects an award, actually in December, not in November, in the postseason, for the best linebacker in the country.
It'll be one of those. If only Will Anderson didn't exist, then Tommy Eichenberg could be considered for this award type of moments.
Look, Alabama's going to have to play a heck of a lot better to start winning those awards. I mean,
Yeah, but Will Anderson keeps scoring touchdowns.
well, maybe Tommy Eichenberg also cameos at tight end and gets one of Bill's touchdowns.
Can I just
He's-
acknowledge how insane it is that we're talking about Tommy Eichenberg and Will Anderson like in the same sentence? And like he's played very well, so like I don't think it's that crazy, but it is a little
Kind of crazy.
mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is.
It is a little
crazy.
mind-blowing.
they're not really it doesn't seem
They're
like they're
not.
playing the same position.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they're not. One plays the mic and one plays outside.
Okay.
Read a
Oh.
book.
Yeah. Don't steal my line.
Learn some
Jeez.
football.
Oh, okay. Well, I should do that for sure. That would be helpful. Instead, I'm going to talk about something that I do know just a little bit about. We have the
Curling?
women's golf team joining us this week on Freaky Friday. They've already claimed one victory this season, and they're heading down to Tennessee for a tournament this weekend. So we are going to take a break, talk with them, get some information, and regroup on bold predictions on Freaky Friday. All right, everybody. It's a weekly tradition here on the podcast on Freaky Friday to take the spotlight and shine it elsewhere on campus. And this would be the only sport for these collegiate athletes that I would even hope to step on to the playing field with them, but they would both destroy me. They are Ohio State women's golfers, Annika Seyu Manutafa and Lauren Peter. They have both, well, they were just part of a winning championship outing out there in Albuquerque. They were the number 20 team in the preseason poll, and then they went out there and won their first tournament of the year. Lauren, Annika, thank you both for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
All
thanks
right.
for having us.
All right, our pleasure. Lauren, hard to start much better for a team. I know you're probably thinking you could move up a couple spots. You finished tied for fourth out there, 3 under for that event. But for the Buckeyes to come back with a team trophy, probably about what you all drew up to open up the fall slate.
Yeah, it was definitely, Annika and I have been on this team for a while, and a team win is a huge thing for us. Just to even start the season is amazing. It just made all of us super happy, and we were super excited to just start off our season with that. So,
Annika, how does a team celebrate a team championship?
Yeah, and we waited to the end, and we all huddled into a circle, and we sang "Our honor, defend, we'll fight to the end." And it meant a lot for us, especially being here for so long, and we finally got that team win. It meant a lot for us.
So as you all get ready for a season, golf is such an individual sport. Once upon a time, I played in the team element back in my younger days. So I know that you spend all week, Lauren, competing against your teammates and trying to qualify and make a travel roster, and probably, I don't know, maybe wagering some lunch. I don't know. And then you want everybody's score to count together on the weekend. What is the chemistry like for this team? And what's a practice week like? And how do you separate the two where you want to beat your teammate and also put together a nice team score?
Yeah, our chemistry this year is really amazing. In the past, we haven't had as much chemistry as we do now, which it was good for us to start with this win and have such good chemistry on the road. But definitely there's a separation between you're trying to shoot the best scores to qualify for the week, but you're also trying to help your teammates get better too while you're shooting the lowest score that you can shoot. So it's just a good motivator to have everyone getting better, because it keeps everyone motivated to get better for the team. And then you go and qualify, and the chemistry is amazing. And it was such a fun road trip, or not road trip, but fun time on the road this past week. And I loved it. It was so great. So,
Annika, you were laughing a little bit about the nature of competing against your teammates through the week and the chemistry and all that. What's it like for you?
Yeah, every single day we go into practice, it's we push each other to be the best that we possibly can. And then it pays off towards the end where we do compete and we do travel. We finally come together as one team, and we shoot for each other, and we have each other's back. That's what it's all about. And during practice, it's great to have a teammate to rely on, that they'll do their best. And then as I said, it pays off when we go on trips, and having that team win in New Mexico meant a lot, like I said, for us.
All right, you get on the team bus or the team van, you're heading over to the course. Is somebody in charge of the speaker? Are we cranking it up, or does everybody are they too locked in? You don't want to listen to music? What happens for the Buckeyes on the way to the course, Lauren?
so we have usually 2 different vans, and this week we listened to Big Booty Mix. I don't know if I can say that, but
Of course, you can say whatever you want.
We were on that vibe this week, and we both fans listened to it, especially after the 36-hole day. We kind of were just like jamming out outside of the cars. Like we parked back to get after the round back to the hotel, and we were just out there like jamming out, like super excited. This was even after the round, after we played 36 holes for the whole day. So we were just super excited just to get that like stroke lead. And even like you said, like going to the beginning of the band, like in the morning, like it's always early, but we always jam out, which is always a good start to the day.
Annika, does everybody get to contribute to the playlist, or who's in charge here?
It's usually Coach Strom and Coach Aleja, but they're like on the same vibe as us, and it's great. So, and we're like teeing off at 7 a.m. Like we'll still have music blaring in our bands, and then even after the rounds, we're all just like tired and out of it. It's just a great feeling to like get in the car and like both coaches like be on the same level as us.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all are getting ready to head out. By the time that this episode on Freaky Friday for the podcast airs, you will be playing down in Nashville. In a couple weeks, you've got the Barbara Nicholas Cup. You get to everybody out to Muirfield. Not an opportunity that a lot of golfers across the world get to go play out there, and it's one of your home courses essentially out there in Dublin. Lauren, what has been the coolest course that you all have played in your college career so far?
Ooh. I would say Annika and I, our freshman year, we played at the Dominican Republic. So we played the Teeth of the Dog, which was amazing. But we've also played some like other amazing courses. Like we hosted an event in California at Palos Verdes Country Club, which is so amazing to be there. You can see the ocean on a few holes, and it's a great experience. So,
Annika, for you?
Oh, that's tough. I would have to say Teeth of the Dog down in Dominican. That was like breathtaking. Like each hole I was on the water. We went out to Hawaii, and I got to play in front of family members out there too. And where else? California, Muirfield. It's just like a bunch of different golf courses that we got to play. It's an honor to be at Ohio State and getting to travel to different golf courses and play different golf courses every week.
All right, we know that the colder weather is coming here in Columbus. It's unavoidable. You guys have that amazing practice facility to take advantage of. Who do I have to bribe to get a thumbprint or a key card? What's the access code to get in? Because I got to work in my game too, and I have no options like y'all do. How can I get in, Lauren?
We have Buckeyes that we have to swipe to get in. So maybe sneak in when we do.
All right. I'm probably just out of luck. That's all right. I remember seeing some of the clips of, the putting green and being able to alter it to give yourself different looks. It looks like a huge advantage for you all, because I probably in the recruiting process, teams in the South are like, hey, you'd never have to go inside. And I don't know, maybe that's part of the sales pitch to get either one of you to come in to play at Ohio State. Like, here's what we've got, and here's the ways that you can work on your game, even when the snow starts coming down.
Yeah. I like on recruiting trips, recruits come here, like they think, oh, Ohio State is just like a cold state. There's no practice facilities, but we do have an outdoor hitting bay that's heated, and like you can still hit balls outside and see the ball fly. Our indoor facility is amazing for like when it's again snowing outside. Like you can still chip, you can still putt, you can still work on your game. We have an equipment room downstairs. Like it's just all there for you to get better every single day.
What's the coolest thing in there, Lauren?
We just got a TrackMan simulator put in last year, which is nice. Like we even use it now if like you want to go down there and use it. And then we can drop a net down that goes like in the middle, and you can just hit balls inside if you don't want to go outside if it's too cold. So it's nice.
All right, well, I'm just going to go stand outside and wait for you all to get practicing after you come back from Nashville. Buckeyes have one win already to their credit, along fall season and spring ahead of them. Off to a great start. Preseason top 20, one win in the bank. Looking for another one this weekend down in Tennessee. Ladies, best of luck, and thank you for joining us on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Hey, 3 cheers for the golf team.
That's it. Very well done. It wasn't quite a golf clap. Very polite. It was a little studio audience-ish, but we'll take it.
Austin, did
thanks.
you give them, did you give them any advice off recording about like how to live in Knoxville and what to do for fun?
It's actually in Nashville, so they'll have plenty of time for that.
Does America know that you love the University of Tennessee and covering the Vols was the best part of your career?
I think loyal, the podcast and Dotting the I's members know that I do not think back fondly on my time of covering Derek Dooley and Lane Kiffin. And Knoxville is a fine place to live.
Hey,
but
if you had to compare Derek Dooley and Lane Kiffin to Urban Meyer and Ryan Day, which 2 would you take?
To do what?
Ooh.
Like,
I don't know. Just like, I guess let's start as football coaches and then work down from there.
As football coaches, they are number 3 and number 4, Lane Kiffin and Derek Dooley on that list. And Derek Dooley is number 4 by a wide margin. And Lane Kiffin was a very good offensive play caller. I did get a front row seat to a Lane Kiffin Urban Meyer feud in 2009, which was quite strange, with Lane accusing Urban of cheating when he was actually cheating himself and wound up breaking several NCAA rules.
Seems that happens a lot. People often accuse others of what they're doing themselves. Okay, one last thing, and then we can talk about our third bold predictions. If you had to pick one of them, one of those 4 coaches, as a paddle boat partner, who would you take?
Boy, why?
I'm not sure. I just figure in Tennessee, you were probably often on some sort of river.
Is tandem paddle boating a thing? Like,
isn't it?
What are you?
Yeah.
Paddle boarding?
Paddle boating.
I don't know what. I've never done it. I don't know anyone who has.
Boy, oh boy. I thought you were from Wyoming. You've never spent time on the water? The Great Rapids?
This is the second time today that you've referenced Wyoming and water as if it's some beachside oasis and
like
not nestled on the
I'm sure there's vivacious, raging waterways in Wyoming that you just hop on the paddle boat and ride.
There is, but the implication earlier in the day was that the raging waters of the North Platte froze, and that I fell into it at some point, which did not happen. That was Jerry on the Knife River.
I have no recollection of this conversation that you guys are talking about you and a Platte River. That was totally with someone else, not me. And I'd like to know who the hell you guys are doing other content with, because I did not have that conversation with you. But anyway, I think it's time for us to move on before I start to get really insulted and give you my third bold prediction. Because I have literally no idea what you're talking about.
I thought you were in the team room with Jerry when we were.
No clue what you're talking about. But again, I'm just going to nod my head and go, that's right. Absolutely. I'm surprised you survived that moment on the Platte River. Okay. Let's see. Well, if CJ Stroud's going to throw for 500 yards, then one of his receivers has to have a cuckoo bat poop type of game, right? And it's going to be
maybe, if you say so.
It's going to be Emeka Egbuka, and he's going to have 260 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns.
That's pretty
260.
That's
260, 3 tutties for Emeka Egbuka. I think that we've seen a lot of focus already on Marvin Harrison from other teams. It's going to continue as Jackson Smith and Jigba gets back and is healthy, and Julian Fleming's back out there. Defenses are going to have to try to kind of pick your poison. I don't think anyone's going to yet pick Emeka as their proverbial, must-stop guy. So I think he becomes the poison, and he kills the Badgers with 260 and 3 touchdowns.
Wow. Badger
is that
poison.
the most effective way to kill a badger, with poison?
It's got to be, right?
Yeah. Did you guys see that thing going around today of the Big Ten coaches saying which actor would play them in a movie? And then Paul Christ was the last one, and he just like deadpan says, "No one would make a movie about me," and that's where it ends.
We got tagged on that on Instagram, and it goes back to what we were talking about on the podcast live on the live show from Roosters on Monday, because they're like, man, Paul Christ has got to be just the most boring guy in the Big Ten, and it obviously works for him in Wisconsin though.
Who did Scott Frost say?
Let's see.
I think he said
They removed it because
Kevin
he was
Bacon.
fired.
Kevin Bacon
Yeah.
and the Invisible Man.
Kevin Bacon or the Invisible Man. Kevin Bacon is not actually invisible.
What?
Yeah, he's not invisible. He's acting, Berm.
Impressive. Honestly, I mean, I've seen people really commit to their work before, but to actually turn invisible is not something that I've seen someone accomplish. So well done.
You didn't
Mr.
actually
Bacon.
see it happen.
You didn't see it. Yeah.
You're right. I didn't see it because he was invisible.
You can't see me.
Is that another Randy Orton joke? I'm so confused. Bill, I think it's your turn for
we
prediction.
shouldn't do it this way.
Oh, I didn't realize you were still recording. Sure. My final bold prediction is that CJ Stroud will have 2 rushing touchdowns in this game.
Ooh, doggies.
I predicted before this season that he would have more than Mayan Williams, which will almost assuredly be wrong. But I'm going to hold on to hope here. Mayan has 1 so far this year. If Austin is correct, maybe he'll have a few more after this week. But I think CJ takes the lead in the rushing touchdown tally this week. I think Ohio State, and part of the reason why I picked all the touchdowns for the tight ends, I think they're going to try to pull out all the stops here to make sure they finish drives the way they need to finish drives. And last week against Toledo, they can kind of just like throw it around. I think it's a little more difficult against a good defense like Wisconsin's, or at least a solid defense like Wisconsin's, and they get CJ's legs involved a little bit down there close to the goal line. One's a QB sneak. One is a zone read. It's a 6-yard touchdown run for CJ Stroud and 2 rushing tutties for CJ.
I love the drill down.
That's
Love
how
it.
you drill down. Wow. Very well done. There's
Austin,
this
just don't do it. Just pick
there's
something
this
new.
streak
Oh my
going
God.
on
Oh my God.
where Ohio State hasn't had a pick 6. Oh, gotcha, Berm.
I was
Gotcha.
expecting you to say Cam Brown has a pick 6.
Oh, I thought you were. Oh, well, never
No.
mind then. Emeka Egbuka will take a punt return back for the first one since 2014. Did you know how long it's been? It's been 2014.
I just think for our loyal like watchers and listeners that like at some point they're just going to tire of you mailing it in on these show and be like, okay, how do we keep naming this? How do we keep giving this guy the title of king when he only makes 2/3 of the predictions that the other guys do?
Don't you
Unbelievable.
recognize that like
This
part
is
of what
Austin
makes
Ward as Kevin Costner in The Postman,
All right.
mailing
You
it
play-
in.
you put all these Tim Robinson drops on there, right? Think you should leave now? Part of his comedy is doing something so many times beyond when you think it'd be funny, and then you get tired of it a little bit, and then he keeps going, and suddenly it becomes hilarious again, and that's the bit.
Okay. Yeah,
People
I get it.
expect me.
So which
to
one
say
of these are you picking? Here's the deal. If you're going to pick one of these every week, you need to pick both of them every week at the same time.
No, I don't believe that they're both going to happen. That's crazy.
You don't believe either one of them's going to happen. You're just mailing it in.
JT Tuimoloau will force a fumble that Jack Sawyer recovers and returns for a touchdown with 7 minutes left in the third quarter.
Now you're getting somewhere.
There you go. That's a drill down.
That's the
What
way,
do you think about that?
That's the way. I like it. Nice
Former
job.
King.
KC and the Sunshine Band.
That's good. The good stuff right there.
Watch
think
the clock midway through
7
the
minutes.
third.
Okay. I mean, I think that
Get your little pretty camera in position.
everyone went bold at some point on this episode, and that's what I think is important. That's what the people deserve, and I just feel like if we just keep rehashing the same, here's a punt return, here's an interception return for Cam Brown, eventually people are going to be turned off to all this insanity.
Well, that's why I never make it my first prediction, so that they don't know it's coming.
Oh, because you think the average watch time isn't long enough to get to the end?
Well, I want to keep them engaged.
With this sort of how do you keep them engaged? By passing off the crap at the end every time. We got to keep them engrossed. It's time for score predictions.
I gave them a bold one, all right?
It's time for score predictions. Bill, you
sure
go
is.
first.
Ohio State 35, Wisconsin 13. You want more than that?
No, 35-13, 3 tight end scores. Okay.
Uh-oh. Berm's gone.
I'm back. Sometimes things just go click, click in the middle of the night. What hasn't been
Bill,
click,
did you check to make sure that your math works this week?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So 3 tight end touchdowns, 2 CJ Stroud touchdowns gets me the 35.
What
Wait,
hasn't been
Wait,
clicking
so they're
for
gonna
me.
wait, so they're gonna be 3 rushing touchdowns for the tight ends?
No, I didn't
No,
say that.
he said 2 CJ
Where-
Stroud rushing touchdowns and
Oh,
3
okay.
tight ends.
My mistake.
So what he's saying is that no Ohio State running back or wide receiver will score.
Correct.
Now
Yeah.
that is bold. That's an
Yeah.
extra spicy bonus prediction.
Yeah. On Monday's show from Roosters, I think I said 45-17. As the week's gone along and I'm doing a little bit more research, I'm going to give the Badgers one additional score. And I think because, again, I think they're going to chuck it around a little bit, as I said, 45-24 Ohio State.
Bill, he said as the week's gone on, like we
Yes.
didn't record Roosters yesterday.
Yeah. It's been 36 hours, I guess.
And
since-
do you know how much time I've spent in the car since then? This has been a lot of, I mean, I get
These
it.
2 days have been a really long week. Yeah, I get
To
that.
you guys, you think, oh, it's just been, 36 hours. Not to me. It's been way more than that. And that's why perhaps tonight on this episode, as we
You've been
record this,
time traveling in your car?
something's wrong in my brain. That's all I'm saying. I feel like I'm a little bit, a little bit out there today. And I understand that it's coming across in this episode of Bold Predictions on Freaky Friday. And I'm not going to apologize for it this time, which is another sign that something is wrong in my brain. But Austin, what's your score prediction?
Well, as the week has gone on, I thought about what I predicted on Monday, and I just thought, that's not right. I think Ohio State's going to win this game easily, and I just didn't give their offense and a defensive touchdown enough credit. So I will bump it up a bit to 48-16 Ohio State over Wisconsin in the Big Ten opener in the Wear Black game on Saturday night. Why did I say Friday night? I don't know. It's Freaky Friday. Saturday night, primetime in the Horseshoe. Why is Ohio State so scared of calling it a blackout?
Because I'm sure because it evokes some sort of like drunkenness thoughts.
Don't they sell beer in the Horseshoe now?
people. You just don't want to encourage people to do a blackout at a football game because then they get like blacked out drunk. And it's going to be all. I mean, Ryan Day talked about it on Tuesday. He's like, he even mentioned Ohio State fans will have all day to prepare, is what he said. I mean, I think we know what that means. Just no one.
The only way you can make the Horseshoe the loudest it's ever been, it has to be at night, and you gotta lose a little inhibitions along the way to want to yell as loud as possible. I'm not saying blackout, maybe brownout. I don't know.
I just think that like my entire week. And again, it's been a long week already. Could have been made if Ryan Day at the podium at Ohio State on Tuesday morning would have said, "Remember, Buckeye fans, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning." And I would have given a body part, some appendage to hear that.
Which one?
Which one?
I don't
Let's
know.
rank them.
That is actually Saturday morning's edition of the Podcast Daily. We'll be ranking appendages. On the show. That one will be on the subscription only YouTube channel, so you'll have to check back there.
Only Berms.
Yeah.
Onlyberms.com/the.
It's a super good time. I think we could probably put this one to bed.
Okay, we should.
I think we've done enough.
Let's
damage.
not do bold peas this way anymore. It is weird enough as it is.
I think we've done
And then
enough
put us
damage.
in different rooms, it gets even worse. So if you made it, thank you. And if you decide to come back and watch more videos after this one, we thank you doubly for that because this is as weird as it gets. Maybe. I don't know. Who knows? We could get weirder next week. We'll try. That's Bill and Berm. I'm Austin. This has been Freaky Friday on the Podcast Daily. You're one day away, I swear, from kickoff, no matter when we're recording this. And we will see you on Saturday for Ohio State and Wisconsin.